Welcome to Aptitude Class Guru. In this video, we are going to discuss about explanation of this mock test which I have already published in our channel. In this video, I will just give you the overview of each and every problem. If you have any further doubts, please mention in comment section. I will give you a reply on the comment section. So without any delay, let's get started. What will be the output of the following pseudocode for n equal to 98? What is the value of n now? It's a 98, right? So int function of int n. So in this n variable, it will stored as a 98. And if n is greater than 100, it will return n minus 10. So the loop will be ended if n is greater than 100. But here the n value is not greater than 100. So it will return the value of function of n plus 20, such that we are incremented n by 20 and we are returning the function of function, which is nothing but recursive function again. So just go with it. What is n plus 20, which is nothing but 118 now. So we are calling the function, initially it is called inner function. So function of 118, n will be stored 118 now. So if condition will be checked. If n is greater than 100, yes, n value now presently 118, it is greater than 100, so it will return n minus 10, which is nothing but the first function will get the answer as 108 decreased by 10. Again, what happened? The external function will be called. What is the external function again? Function of 108. If function of 108 is called, again control will go to the function, and in n value now it will store as 108. So if n is greater than 100, what is the value of n now? It is 108. So it's definitely greater than 100. So it will return the answer as n minus 10, which is nothing but 108 minus 10, again 98. So at the end of this recursive function, the n value become 98. So this total function returns 98 again. So this is the answer, 98. What will be the output of the following pseudocode? Integer x, y, z in a 4 variables are given. X value, y value and z value is set to some integers, and a value is defined as x and y or z plus 1, which is nothing but these two are logical and or logical or operations, such that what will be the output we will see. Always the logical and logical or whatever it may be, logical bitwise operators, after performing a bitwise operation, always the result will be integer type and either 0 or 1 will be the answer. Integer type of 0 or 1 will be stored in A. So we will see what it is, 0 or 1. I will directly give you the answer as 1, but we have to go for the solution, right? Why? Because if whenever seen the and or operators, I will directly know that the output will be either 0 or 1. Why? Because bitwise operators always return you the value of 0 or 1. 0 is not there, so I will definitely go with the 1, but I will go with the explanation. What is the value of x? 6. So other than it's not 0, so the value is true. What is the value of y? It is 8, so it is also true. Greater than 0, you will take it as a true. So what is the truth table of the AND operator? If both the inputs are true, the output will be true. Next, what is the value of z? It is 1, and we are adding with another one. Now this total value is 2. 2 means it is also true. So true or true, if the any one of the input is true, then OR operator returns the value as true. So true means integer, it is 1. So the answer will be 1. Look at the next problem. What will be the output of the following code? I have already told you that what is the logical operator returns? They will return either 0 or 1 with integer type, right? Same that concept was implemented in this problem also. Just look at it. Long double a equal to 10, signed char b equal to 1, int array of size of not a plus b. When you have seen a plus b, you will get some confusion among a plus b, but don't go for the this type of arithmetical operations. Why? Because it's not necessary. After the result, we are using a logical not operator. Logical bitwise operators always returns the value either 0 or 1. which are of type integer, right? So how much size will integer occupies? Definitely 4 bytes, right? So 4 is the size of 0 or 1. Whether it may be 0 or 1, I don't care. I don't bother about the result. I just care about the not operator returns either 0 or 1 answer. The size of 0 or 1 always be an integer. If it is an integer, the size of integer always 4 bytes. So here array size is initialized as 4 bytes. So array of 4. And array is which type? Array is integer type. So integer occupies 4 bytes for one variable. Here in array there are 4 variables. So each one variable occupies 4 bytes. These 4 variables occupies 4 into 4, 16 bytes, such that the size of an array is nothing but 16 bytes. Let's look at the next problem. I am giving you the idea of the problem. I am not going with the in detail explanation. Okay. What is the output of the following C code? They have given int x equal to 5 and y equal to 0 and some z value is not given. So z equal to rounded brackets of y plus plus comma x. In earlier classes, I have already told you that rounded brackets reserves the rightmost variable value. In previous examples, I have already told you this type of examples. The rightmost value will be assigned to the variable. If there is a bracket, rounded brackets, the rightmost value will be assigned to the given variable. What is the rightmost value? It is x, right? So x will be stored in z. Then what is the value of z? It always equal to x, which is nothing but 5. Int num equal to 2, 4, 8, 12 and 16. So some array is given, integer array, and int star a star b, 2 pointers was defined, and int I another variable. So this is okay, all our inputs and defined some values. A equal to num. A will store the address of num. Which address? The address of 2 or address of 4, address of 8, whatever. Which variable address will be stored in A? Remember that by default num always indicates the initial position of the array, which is nothing but num of 0 is its initial address. So A is stored the address of the n of 0. That means the pointer value is 2. Next, b equal to num plus 2. So what is the address of num? N of 0. Initially pointer is here. We are adding 2, which is nothing but we are adding 2 places to it, such that it control will take the value to the num of 2. So b equal to num of 2, which implies, so star b will store the value of 8. What is I equal to? I equal to star a plus 1. What is the value of star a? We already know that it is 2. Remember that star a returns numerical value, not the address. Numerical value 2 is added with 1. So I will store the value as 3. So he is printing some values like I value 3. We are having 3 in option 3. So answer is 3 to 8. Just look at the next problem. In this problem, just look at it. A value is 150, B value is 125 and C value is 10. So all are true. If this condition is true, then A will be printed or else B will be printed. So either answer will be definitely 150 or 125. What about this logic? A is greater than 145. Is it true or not? Yes, it's true. So it will result the value as true. Or B is greater than 150. Is it B is greater than 150? No. So it returns false. Logical. And C is greater than 100. Is it right? No, it's false. So when I was in this logic, whether I have to know the output will be true or false. Remember that logical AND operator having a high priority, statement runs from right hand side. Why? Because logical AND operator have a high priority. So false and false, which returns the value as false, and second priority will go with the OR operator. If one of the input is true, the output will be definitely true for the OR operator, such that the entire expression results true, such that if consists of true, print in the if statement will be executed. So percentage d comma a will be executed. So what is the value of a? It is 150. So answer is 150. Just look at the next problem, very easiest. What is the value of a? 50, b value 20 and c value 5. If you know the BODMAS rule, it become more easier. So first high priority is multiplication and division. So put the values of A 50 into what is the value of B 25. We have to divide them with C, which is nothing but 5, and finally we have to add the 5. So first multiplication and division operations will be performed, and later on we have to add the 5. So 5 will be cancelled here 10 times. 10 into 25, 250, 250 plus 5, 255 is the answer. There is no need to go for more explanation about it. I'm just going through the next example. Just look at it. If A value is 10, B value is 35 and C value is 5, comment about the output of the following two statements. A star B plus C by D. What is the first arithmetic operation it will perform? A into B, and later C by D. After performing these two arithmetic operations, they will add. For example, in second expression also, C by D will be performed first, A star B performed the second, and both will be added at the third level, such that A star B plus C by D is equal to C by D plus A star B. Why? Because of associative law. A plus B equal to B plus A. Both are equal, such that there is no difference between the values here. Look at the next example. Ram wants to make the program to print the sum of the first 10 multiples of 5. So here I'll go with the explanation directly. Just go through the problem by pausing the video if you are seeing this for first time. Integer I equal to 0 and sum equal to 0, while I is less than or equal to 5, sum equal to sum plus I. So here when you observe this, here I am adding 5 to the sum each and every time the loop runs, right? So I value must be 5 multiple. Here is given first 10 multiples, sum of the first 10 multiples. I have to add 5, 10, 15 and 20, 25, all these numbers I have to add, which is nothing but 5 into 1, 5 into 2, 5 into 3, 5 into 4, which is nothing but continuously I have to change the I value from 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, such that in order to make it possible, I value must be every time incremented by 5 only. So this operation will definitely give you the exact answer. If you think it is 5 star I, it is wrong. Why? Because first I value is 5. Okay. When you multiply with another 5 in next iteration, it will directly jump to the 25. So multiplication, second option leads to powers of 5, which is nothing but 5 square, 5 cube, 5 power 4, like that. But addition is nothing but 5 multiples. So answer is I equal to I plus 5. What will be the output of the following C code? When I look at this, A equal to 0, B equal to 1, C equal to 2. Print A comma B comma C. Just look at it. I just got the logic is that it is a ternary operator. So the problem will be definitely based on the ternary operator. Just go with it. What is the value of A plus 1? A plus 1 is nothing but value 1. 1 equal to 1. Yes, it's a comparison operator such that both the values are equal. So the result will be true. If the true is occurred in the ternary operator, the first statement will be executed. What is the first statement? And B. Just look at it, star and B, which reflects again the value of B. So he is taking B equal to, again he has given some ternary condition is that, what is the value of A now? It is 0. If it is 0, the second statement will be the output. What is the output now? C. In order to write B equal to C, he has developed this code. And printf %d %d comma ABC. What is the value of A now? It won't change. So A value will be same 0. And what is the B value now? It is equal to C. So it become 2 and C value also 2. The answer will be 0, 2, 2. What will be the output of the following C code? When I look at this type of problems, I will give you one suggestion is that just go through the structure padding. How much space or how much size the compiler will allocate to the structure. Go through the structure padding theory, you will get awareness about it. Always size of the structure is not equal to the sum of the individual sizes of the data types is consist. So I am suggesting you to go through the structure padding, you will get the clarity about this concept. If I am start explaining this about this concept, it will take 10 to 15 minutes. We don't have that much time to explain depth concepts. Just go through the structure padding in online sources, you will easily get the concept within 10 minutes. What will be the output of the following code? Very easiest concept I think. A equal to 456, B, C and D equal to 10. What is the B value? B equal to A by D. What is the value of A? 456 and we have to divide it by 10. Dividend operator results the coefficient, right? So 415, 45.6. But B is of type integer such that decimal points will be discarded. So B value is 45. What is about C? C equal to A minus B. C A value is 456 and we have to subtract by 45. Why? Because B value is 45. So 456 minus 45, the answer is 411. What will be the output of the following C code? When you see this code, they have written some function, void function int x, x equal to 30, int main, int y equal to 20, so another variable, function of y. So here y is passed to the function in order to change the value of I, but here y value cannot be changed in this program. Why? Why? Because the concept of pass by reference and pass by value methods. Here the function is defined as call by value function. Call by value functions cannot change the variables values. So it can't change the value of y. If you use call by reference method, then only y will be changed. He has used call by value method, so y value cannot be changed. So y remains as 20. So answer is 20. How many times AGC will be printed in the above program? Just look at it. For I was already initialized, so he skipped the statement I. Until I become null or 0, the loop will runs. Okay. I greater than equal to 1. What is this greater than equal? Is nothing but right shift and assignment operator. So it is a short format for I equal to I greater than 1. So this is the short note for I equal to I greater than 1. I have already discussed this concept in previous videos. Bitwise operators like right shift operator and left shift operator. What is meant by right shift operator? It will decrease the value by always dividing with 2. So how many times we have to divide 1024 to make it equal to 0? It is 11 times. Why? Because 2 power 10 is 1024. So 10 times the loop will be run, and in last I value will be 4. Sorry, I value will be 1. In order to make it 0, we have to divide it by another 2. So total for 11 times. In order to make 1024 as 0, we have to divide it by 2 power 11 times. Why? Because here in for loop he has given condition I. Whenever the I becomes 0, then only the loop will be terminated. Until I becomes 0, the loop runs for again. In order to make I value 0, I have to divide it by 2 power 11. So 11 is the answer. This loop will be run for 11 times. All the remaining are data structure theoretical problems. I don't want to go for detailed explanation. If you know the theoretical part of the data structures, it will be more easier. No need to worry. I am just focusing on the logical output based problems in this session.